Lighting is one of the best investments you can make if you want to improve your videos. Hey, my name's Jake and I create content here to help solo creators on the go. So I test and review lots of drones, cameras, lenses, other filmmaking equipment here in Alaska, and I give you tips and tutorials on how to use them. If that's something that interests you, consider subscribing. iFootage is releasing a series of fantastic lights called the AnglerFish, and I've been using a few of them now for a little while, but one of them, or two of them actually, I took on a trip with me up the mountains. If you haven't seen it, the video is here. I took these two lights and used it to light a subject, taking sunset pictures of them from a mountaintop here in Alaska. Now, iFootage did send me these lights for review, but they have no input into this video and they don't get to see it before it's launched. And now I want to break down for you what makes these lights so fantastic and why you really should consider investing in good lighting for your studio or for your photography kit or your videography kit. To start off with, we're going to talk about the HL1C4, which is the smallest light they have available. It's a small battery-powered pocket light. It can be mounted on a cold shoe. It's USB-C rechargeable, and it gives you actually a fair amount of runtime, even at full power. This is full power here, and it gives me an hour and 39 minutes, which I can see really clearly on the bright little OLED display on the top. This is an RGBW light, so it gives you, of course, all of the colors you can do if you want to do all of that. And it also gives you multiple effects, things like that. And it's also magnetic. And this was perfect when I was taking photos at the top of the mountain as a fill light on the subject's face, just to fill in a few shadows when we were using a kicker light, using this as a kicker light instead of as a front light. This light ended up being perfect to just illuminate her face just a little bit. And because it's magnetic, I'm going to stick it right there and just have it illuminate and fill in this shadow here. And that brings us to the iFootage 60DN, the AnglerFish 60DN. This light will put out 70 watts. Its bigger brothers will put out considerably more. This particular light can be mains powered, or 100 watt power delivery over USB-C can also be used. On the back, there's a USB-C port for power delivery, and it can be battery powered via V-mount or NPF style 970 batteries with an additional mount. It only weighs a little over 1.5 pounds, which is why I took it with me to the top of a mountain to film a video with it. There's a CRI of 98, a TLCI of 99, which means it's incredibly accurate in its color temperature. It is a 5600 Kelvin fixed light output, so it matches daylight balance light as closely as possible. And it has a stepless dimming knob, so you can turn it up from 0.1% all the way to 100%, and the faster you turn the knob, the faster it turns out, and so on. Or if you push the knob, it goes up in 20% increments until it recycles back to going off again. This also has a nice bright OLED display on it. It has a few effects like paparazzi, fireworks, lightning, a couple other things like that. So you could use this as an effect light if you wanted to. Works well as an edge light. You can see right here, I was using it as an edge light while I was setting up and taking video of me setting up the lights. At 100% illumination, it puts off 3000 lux at 1 meter. But then if you put on this reflector, it'll put off 12,200 lux at 1 meter, which is insanely bright and very useful if you're gonna climb to the top of a mountain and use it for photography. And one of the things that struck me about this is how quiet the fans are. Right now, this has been running for several hours because I've been doing a lot of work with these lights today, filming a lot of different videos. And the fan is, as you can hear, much quieter than anything else in my studio. Now, it does give you a readout of what the fan's RPM is. And so if you turn it all the way up, obviously the fan is going to start kicking up. And you have the option of turning the fan onto a silent mode, which limits the output power of the light, but it does keep the fan running at a much lower level. When it comes to the light construction, they're all built out of metal, so very well built, very durable, at least for what I can see and what I can tell. I've had them for about 3 weeks and they've been really durable. This one went with me to the top of a mountain. It's doing fine. It wasn't exactly in a padded backpack. We just stuffed it in my friend's backpack and hauled it up there, so it's doing great. And yeah, they seem to be very well built and very durable. Now, I can say from other iFootage stuff that I've used and have, including a tripod, a slider, and their magic crab arms, or their spider crab arms, everything else they build is really well built and maybe even overbuilt and over-engineered, which is fantastic because you really don't have to worry about it too much. And by default, it has a mini Bowens mount on it. Now, you can take that off and add this adapter, which is a regular size Bowens mount. And so then all of a sudden, any light modifier you have, like this big 60 centimeter lantern back here, you can clip in anything with a Bowens mount like this, and then have yourself a big old light that will, you know, illuminate everything. They're also releasing some fantastic light modifiers, including a 90 centimeter dome, which is what's illuminating me right now. Very large, basically it's about 3 feet across, 36 inches. Excellent for nice, big, soft fill light. A 60 centimeter lantern, which is this guy right here, really nice for certain settings, especially if you're gonna do an interview with 2 people and you wanna put one light right between them both. A 60 centimeter dome, so it's a fair amount smaller, which is what I took with me to the top of the mountain, and a 50 centimeter lantern. Also, again, the one I took with me to the top of the mountain, and a much smaller, but very good quality diffusers. All of them are really easy to set up or take down, pack up, stow away, take with you places because they're lightweight and they set up and they pack down really fast. Something that sets this light apart, and along with the bigger brothers that it also has, the 220 and the 320 DN, which are respectively much more bright, much more powerful lights. You're watching the 320 is what's illuminating me now at 30% brightness, and I've got all my camera settings basically as low as they will go. But one of the things that sets them apart is how close they are to daylight. A lot of LED lights out on the market will have too much blue light in there, where iFootage has really gone after sourcing chips for these lights that have the least amount of blue of pretty much any light on the market, I believe. Which in turn gives you great colors and makes everything in your videos or in your photos look accurate and true to life. If you have a weird light that's throwing some off color cast, like too much yellow, too much green, too much magenta, anything like that, it'll make your stuff look a little funny and a little different, and you'll constantly be fighting it when you go to color grade or when you go to edit those photos and those videos. Now also, according to iFootage, there will be an app to be able to control all of these lights via an app. I have not had the opportunity to test that yet, and that's why this is more of a first look video and not a full in-depth review. I will be doing a full in-depth review, including why you would use a dome softbox or a lantern softbox in different situations, in different settings. But for now, my first impressions of using these lights is they put out incredibly good light. The quality of the light is spectacular, and it is definitely one of the closest lights, if not the closest lights that I've seen to producing what feels like and what looks like natural, actual sunlight, which is quite an achievement coming from LED lights and not a traditional high output bulb. Now, if you want to see ways to use lighting and set lighting up so that things look good and look correct and make your set or your setting look really nice, click or tap there, put together a little playlist. I'll see you in one of those videos. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream, which happens Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern, most of the time. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers.